Hello, everybody. Welcome to Till the Whistle Blows podcast. My name is Sam, the host for this. It's all sports all the time, covering all four major sports in the U.S. We're going NFL, NBA, NHL, and MLB, and this will be our first episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is our first ever episode, as mentioned before, and we've got a lot to go into. This is a good, interesting time to get into with all sports. We've got NFL Week 1 coming up. We have the NBA playoffs in their conference semifinals. We have the NHL in the finals of each conference, and we have the MLB in their playoff push right now. But I think with the big one being September, we're coming right around the corner to it. We're going to start with week 1 of the NFL, give you a preview of all the matchups to come and all the thoughts that we have towards it, any big moves, anything else inside in there. So why don't we get right into it? We open up week 1 with the Texans versus the Chiefs. That's the rematch of the AFC Divisional. That's going to start on Thursday with that. So we have the rematch there where the Texans had it big, but they ended up losing to the Chiefs because, as we know, they went on to win the Super Bowl. Now, with this new Texans team, though, unfortunately, they are going to be down a huge weapon in terms of DeAndre Hopkins since they traded him for pennies and an injured running back. Do I see the Texans winning this one? No. Deshaun Watson might have gotten his big payday, and they got him some receivers, I guess, something. I know Randall Cobb's over there. They still have Will Fuller, who seems to always be hurt. So it's going to be interesting to see. But Patrick Mahomes, even with his big payday, they were able to keep all the core, like Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, and all that good stuff, and Frank Clark. I see the Chiefs going to win their opening night. But it should be an exciting one for them since this will be their Super Bowl celebration. I'm not too sure how close it will be. I just don't see the Chiefs winning. Now, when we move over to our Sunday's games, as you could probably tell by in the background, I am a huge Falcons fan. I love me my Falcons. And they will be opening their season against the Seahawks in the new Mercedes. It's not new anymore, but in Atlanta. Now, that should be a fun one because the Seahawks and Falcons seem to always have some good games. They have a deep rivalry. They seem to always be going head-to-head at it, no matter what. It should be a fun one. I'm going to be biased here. I think the Falcons are going to win. Matt Ryan, Julio, they have that great connection. Calvin really came in. Sadly, just so without the preseason, like Todd Gurley, Hayden Hurst, Dante Fowler, and all these new acquisitions they brought in, unfortunately, it's going to be a little hard for them, I feel like, just because without that preseason to get them ready, unfortunately, they're now coming into a new system where they can't really adjust properly. So it might take them maybe a game or two before they start clicking. But I don't see it being too much of an issue. I think Dante Fowler is still a great player. On the terms of the Seahawks side, Russell Wilson's still an amazing player. Tyler Lockett is his number one receiver still. DK Metcalf coming into his sophomore year. I'm not too sure if he can break away from the sophomore slumps. That's where, you see a lot of these guys like Baker. He had a sophomore slump. Matt Ryan had one. We're going to see how the Daniel Jones, since he's kind of hitting his sophomore year now, we'll see how he does. But with that, I think the sophomore slump will hit him. Maybe he's not going to have an amazing year. Defensive-wise, they should be all right. They seem to be okay. They have Jamal Adams now. That's a big pickup. That should be helping them bolster the secondary, so that's something to really worry about. Speaking of Jamal Adams, why don't we head over to Bills versus Jets? That's also on Sunday. That's an AFC matchup. Now, I have no faith in the Jets. Jets, I feel like, are done. Adam Gase is not a coach. They should be running their offense through Le'Veon Bell, but they are choosing not to. I don't know what he has against Le'Veon. He's just choosing not to do it. They lost Robbie Anderson, really didn't get anything else. They had to let go of Jamal Adams. They traded him for pennies. CJ Mosley's not playing. The Jets are going to be very, very bad. On the Bills side of things, they have an amazing defense, added Stephon Diggs on offense. Josh Allen's still progressing. For them, I believe they are going to win the division. I think this is a good stepping stone for them to start week 1 with a solid game against the Jets. I have a feeling they're going to get a good win. It's not going to be a close game like it was last year on their week 1 matchup with them. It's just going to be a solid game for them. They're going to take it over and win that one. Moving on to the NFC North, we have Bears versus Lions. Bears, they just got Nick Foles. They really didn't do much else, but they're even with the trade for Nick Foles from Jacksonville, they are sticking with Trubisky. On the terms of the Lions, they got Stafford still, Kenny Galladay. They drafted Jeff Okudah for cornerback. They have Desmond Trufant as well, and they're still trying to be the Patriots. With that, though, Matt Patricia really needs to figure out what he wants to do. Because you know what? If he's really trying to stick with the Patriots theme, he's got to figure it out because it doesn't seem to be working for him. I think he needs to break away from the Patriots mindset and make it figure out something of his own. That's the only way I see this Lions team progressing. With that, though, the Bears defense, though, Khalil Mack, he's still a force to be reckoned with. They brought in, they didn't really bring in much else. They have still a solid defense over there in Chicago. They might be the ones to look out for, but with that offense having so many question marks, you never know what's going to happen with them. Sad to say. I do think the Lions are going to win this one, though, with TJ Hawkinson. Stafford coming back from that injury. I think he's ready to rock. He's ready to roll. Another NFC North Division matchup, Packers-Vikings. Packers, I don't know what they're doing. They have Rodgers. They drafted Jordan Love. Are they getting ready for maybe Aaron Rodgers to be shipped out of there for this guy? Because they really didn't get him much of anything. Like, he's not, they got no weapons for him. What is he going to do? Like, there's nothing for her. Like, he can't keep running around, like, pulling magic out of him. Like, people are going to figure out what to do against him. And on the Viking side, they lost Stephon Diggs. They lost some big defensive players. They still have Dalvin Cook. Unfortunately, I don't know how much of that, like, he keeps getting hurt. He hasn't really played a full season yet, Dalvin. It's going to be really rough for him to really figure out what he wants to do. Like, he's going to have to be, like, kind of the main back, but he's got to stay healthy. Kirk Cousins, clearly not afraid of anything since he's admitted that if he dies while he's out there. So we're not really worried about him. But with that, Adam Thielen, Kyle Rudolph still looking strong. I think the Vikings are going to get on top of the Packers on this one. Since you know what, they are turning the corner. They're trying to figure out. They need to figure out how to get this next step to make it to the Super Bowl, and beating the Packers, I think, will help them get on the right track for there. Now, here's a big one I like. This game is going to be interesting to watch here. We have Patriots versus the Dolphins. The reason why I think this is interesting is the Dolphins have made huge changes. They've added some very big names here. They have Byron Jones on defense. They bolstered it up. Offense, they drafted Tua, but they're not going to start him because they're going to let him try to, sit, get ready. You don't want to throw him into a situation just yet with you still trying to figure it out. They're going to let Fitzpatrick roll with it. And Fitzpatrick, I thought, did an amazing job with the offense last year. Brian Flores did a really good job coaching the team. Devontae Parker, Albert Wilson being the really good receivers for him. The tight end Mike Gesicki, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's going to develop into an amazing tight end. And that Dolphins team, with the right preparation, if they give Tua the time to develop, they should be hopefully good to rock. They should be good to go. On the other side of the ball, though, you get the Patriots. They're still dangerous with Bill Belichick and all that stuff. They're rocking with, they got Cam Newton. He will be starting. I know there was like discussions about starting that guy Stidham, but that's not going to happen. The big problem with the Patriots, though, they are down a lot of players due to COVID. They didn't want to play. I know Dante Hightower is one of those names, so they're going to have to figure out ways. People, usually in the Patriots, team, though, it's always next man up for Bill Belichick, so I'm not too worried about anyone trying to pop in and not being able to do it. He will get the best out of everyone on his team here. Moving into the NFC East, we have Eagles versus Washington's football team. This game is very under my radar. Washington's football team has done nothing. They come up with an uninspired name. They didn't do anything, and the owner is now, the entire organization is just under review based off of everything that was going on with the cheerleaders and whatever's going on with them. So you know what? Eagles are going to win that one. Oh, for the Dolphins Patriots, I think the Patriots are going to win. Cam's going to have a great game. Eagles going to win this one against Washington's football team. Eagles looking to, break the injury bug. Seems to not happen. Everyone's just getting hurt. Like, I can't explain it. Everyone's hurt, but Washington's football team is just a train wreck. I wish Alex Smith the best over there. Dwayne Haskins, hopefully he turns into something, but they just are not looking out for anyone. Raiders, Panthers. That should be an interesting one. Panthers lost Cam. They lost Greg Olsen. They lost Luke Kuechly. They lost a lot. They brought in Teddy Bridgewater to be the quarterback. Christian McCaffrey is still amazing. Just I don't see that being enough this year. Unfortunately, as much as Christian McCaffrey is like an amazing player, he cannot carry an offense by himself. He needs help. I know they signed Robbie Anderson from the Jets, but how good can he be? I don't know if he's going to be really like that. They need to find like some weapons out there. On the side of the Raiders, they're rocking off of that amazing rookie campaign that all their players had last year. Do they see a sophomore slump? I think you probably get half and half. Like maybe you see like one of the receivers Like, I think Hunter Renfrow, maybe he has an off year. Colin Farrell, whatever that rookie guy was, maybe he does all right. Josh Jacobs maybe hits a sophomore slump. You never know. But if Josh Jacobs can bring back what he brought last year, I think the Raiders will be fine. They might be a force to reckon with in the AFC. I do see the Raiders winning. Like I said, the Panthers, they brought no one in to help. Teddy's going to be out there looking for someone. They're not going to do it. Defense is not going to hold up. It's just going to be a bit of a mess. Colts, Jaguars. Jaguars, just like Washington's football, they've done nothing. They lost everyone. They got rid of Ramsey last year. They got rid of Nick Foles now, even though he wasn't helping. He's more of a situational quarterback. Well, we could talk about him another episode. They lost their defensive end that I cannot pronounce his name, traded him to the Vikings. They are losing everyone. They are getting nothing in return. They have become very, very bad. They were riding high in 2017 when the Eagles were winning, but whatever happened there, like they were rocking with Blake Bortles, didn't work. Then they bring in some random people. I mean, they got Gardner Minshew. He seems like he could be a good thing. DJ Chark, that seems fine, but like they blew it up. They just blew it up based off of the incompetence they have in ownership there. On the side of the Colts, brought in Phil Rivers. I don't know how I feel about that. Like he's an amazing quarterback, yeah, but can he still hold up? Like yes, they have Quentin Nelson on the line to protect him, but can he still we see it with a lot of these older quarterbacks now. Like I don't know what they are gonna do here, but Phil is going to be starting. Hopefully, he has a great season in Indianapolis and gets some success. I know he hasn't had much of anything in San Diego and Los Angeles. I feel bad that he had to leave the Chargers. I thought it would have been a very nice send off for him to stay with the Chargers for his whole career. But obviously, management didn't see it that way. So, you know what? Best of luck to Phil. I think the Colts are going to win this one against the Jaguars. Now, this is one of the ones I think are going to be a big matchup. Browns, Ravens. So, the reason why I think this is a big one, Ravens have MVP Lamar Jackson. They still have an amazing offense with Hollywood Brown. They got Mark Andrews, tight end. I know they lost Hayden Hurst due to a trade. They have Mark Ingram, though, still. They just have an amazing backfield. Lamar is still going to be impossible to contain. So I see that is going to be dangerous for them. But on the Brown side, they brought in they still have their good weapons of Baker, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. They have Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry. But and they added Austin Hooper to complement David Njoku, who I know is not happy and will probably not be there. But Austin Hooper is still a great upgrade at tight end. So that should be a very fun offensive battle. On the Ravens side, they lost Earl Thomas. They had to get rid of him due to whatever he was doing. We're not going to get into whatever he was doing. That's just ridiculous, whatever it was. I know he fought a teammate, but that's crazy. You can't just do that. But with that, I'm going to say, I know the Ravens are the favorites. I think the Browns, they're going to start the season off strong, and they're going to win against the Ravens. I think Baker, I know Austin Hooper, he's the new guy. He hasn't been there, the new coach, but I think they're going to click. I think they're going to get Odell really rocking. They're going to get Jarvis Landry in there. I know, like I said, the Ravens have a great defense. I just think the Browns are hungry enough that they want to start the season off strong. This game I thought would be a little more interesting if two rookie quarterbacks were starting, but that is not the case. We have Bengals versus Chargers week one there. Now, the reason why I say it's not as interesting is because the Chargers are starting Tyrod Taylor over Justin Herbert. I think it would have been more interesting if we saw Justin Herbert versus Joe Burrow, because Burrow will be starting for the Bengals. Now, unfortunately, I get why they're doing it. They want Herbert to, they don't want to throw him into a mess right now because they're not really the cleanest of teams right now. They lost Derwin James on defense, which I know isn't effective, but they don't really have a good O-line. Lost Melvin Gordon. They have Keenan Allen still. They extended him. But I get why they throw in Tyrod. They don't want to send the rookie in to just get bashed and beaten and, not get him ready. He needs to sit. He needs to get ready, and they need to build a team that's ready for him. When it comes to Burrow, I feel like they got the team. Unfortunately, the O-line is a little suspect, but they have A.J. Green, Joe Mixon, John Ross. That offense should be dangerous if Burrow was everything he lives up to be in being the number one pick. I think, though, I think the Chargers are going to win it just because without that preseason, Burrow didn't get time to get settled into that pocket. He didn't get time to really feel the team for him. So it might be just rough for him, to get out there and just, play his best football when he doesn't have the practice. He doesn't have the prep for it. Moving gears here, another game that is the 4 o'clock slate. This one definitely a little more interesting, and I think a must watch. We have the Buccaneers versus Saints, Brady versus Breeze. You got two amazing quarterbacks, one potential GOAT, and one who could be like, I think, the second best quarterback in the league, Drew Brees. They're versing each other with these high power offenses. The Buccaneers winning the offseason by getting Brady, getting Gronkowski, getting Leonard Fournette, and then having also Mike Evans, Chris Godwin already there. OJ Howard being another big tight end threat for Brady to have. I think that's going to be good. Just like I said, without the preseason, Brady didn't get time to really prepare with Bruce Arians. He didn't get time to, get like on-call snaps with his new receivers. I know he has that connection with Gronkowski, but also or OJ Howard, Leonard Fournette was just picked up like a few weeks ago. He might have a rough time really being out there. He may not it's going to be rough. While Breeze and the Saints, they've had years with this. Like Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara were already there. Malcolm Jenkins is coming back to the system. Like they seem to already have something set. So I think the Saints are actually probably going to beat the Buccaneers in this week one. But I think with the Buccaneers playing the Saints, that's like a good way for them to get ready for their week two matchup and whatever they're doing. It should be a fun game though. Like it's probably gonna be a high scoring game between both of these offenses, these high flying offenses. On the NFC West side, we have Cardinals versus 49ers. Now, that's going to be an interesting one. 49ers coming off that Super Bowl loss. Garoppolo, he did what he could, just wasn't enough. They have the trio of running backs still. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, who might have a sophomore slump. We never know. But the Cardinals with Kyler Murray, who also might have a sophomore slump, but he also has DeAndre Hopkins now. He still has Larry Fitzgerald, Kenyon Drake's in the backfield, and they bolstered the defense with getting that rookie Isaiah Simmons, who seems to be just a defensive player. He's not really specifically any one position. He could be on the entire field, it seems like. But with that, though, the 49ers seem to be the better team overall. Like I said, they have the more running backs. They have Garoppolo, who has definitely shown that he can be the potential starter for these guys. They have shown that Kittle is an amazing tight end. They have Deebo Samuel, who is being the big receiver. They need another receiver to kind of step up, though. Deebo can't just carry it himself because I know he's getting a little hurt. They're hitting the injury bug. I think the Cardinals are going to take this one, though. They're going to upset the 49ers in that because DeAndre Hopkins is probably hungry after getting traded from the Texans by Bill O'Brien kind of unexpectedly. That's going to be an interesting one. Now, when we go to the primetime, this one I'm not an excited primetime for. It's going to be Cowboys-Rams. I don't like seeing the Cowboys in primetime. They're there way too often. Like, I'm sick of seeing them in primetime. Like, they need to get off of primetime here. They need to, figure out something else. They need to get other teams there. I get they're America's team. They're in Dallas. It's a big market town. But, like, they can put other stuff there. Unfortunately, I don't see this being a fun one. Zeke, Dak, yes, those are great players. They got Michael Gallup. They have that rookie, CeeDee Lamb. They drafted CeeDee Lamb. Like, I get they're going to be a good offense. Rams on the other side, I'm not going to discredit them. Like, yes, they lost Todd Gurley, their running back, but he was kind of injury plagued. They're getting hit hard though right now. Unfortunately, with Goff's payday, Aaron Donald's payday, they're going to start hitting a little bit. I know Jalen Ramsey's still over there. They should still be a dangerous team. Sadly, I will have to go on the side of the Cowboys as much as I don't want to. I don't want to see them win. Cowboys are probably going to take this one. They have just kind of a better team, I think. They're not stuck in cap hell at the moment. They're going to be fine. It should be an interesting season for them. I'm not sold on Mike McCarthy, though. I thought, my personal opinion, you guys can think differently. Mike McCarthy is kind of a product of Aaron Rodgers, I feel like. I think Aaron Rodgers kind of helped keep him in his winning ways at that moment. I wasn't sold on him in his end years. Now, moving over to Monday night, Giants, Steelers. Steelers got Big Ben Roethlisberger coming back. A lot of people are saying he's going to be back to where he was. I don't see it. He was hurt on his throwing arm. He is old. We just saw a fellow member from his draft class, Eli Manning, retire. I don't think Ben is going to be back to 100%. I think he's going to have issues. I think the Steelers might want to consider looking, like not right now, maybe in like a year or so, try maybe finding his replacement. He's not going to do hot. TJ Watt, I know he's still there. We got Juju on that offense. I don't see the Steelers doing so hot this year. They're gonna look promising, but then blow it. On the Giants side of things, they got Daniel Jones now. He's officially starting himself. They got Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate, Saquon Barkley, Evan Ingram. Defense is a little suspect, but that's okay. They have Saquon, and hopefully if Daniel Jones was playing like he was a little bit last year, like especially that game in Tampa Bay where he was slinging the ball to everyone. I think the Giants can have a serious shot at the playoffs this year. When it comes to the game, though, they are going to beat the Steelers. I do not see the Steelers winning this one. The Giants, I think, just are a little more well prepared. Ben coming off that injury, I think, is a little dangerous for him. So I think the Giants are going to get it. And the last game of week 1, we have Broncos and Titans. That should be a fun one. Broncos defense, really good. Titans offense, with Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, and Tannehill is very good. On the other side for both teams, Broncos have Jerry Jeudy, rookie running back, rookie receiver. I'm sorry. Then they have Noah Fant, tight end, Drew Lock, and they have Cortland Sutton. While the Titans actually have they did lose Jarrell Casey, but they got Jadeveon Clowney. They still have Logan Ryan, the savior from the Patriots game they lost, or they won. I mean, so I think the Titans are gonna continue. I think they're gonna win this one. I know Bradley Chubb and Von Miller are a dangerous duo, but I just see the Titans winning this one. They are hungry. They're ready to go. Derrick Henry, I think, is going to run around them. It's going to be a fun game. When it comes to NFL Week 1, I think the games to watch, Buccaneers Saints, I think that's going to be a good one, like I mentioned before. I think the Dolphins and Patriots would be an interesting one to watch. I would definitely give it a just quick look, like Cam Newton coming in, seeing what he does, and seeing these Dolphins. And one other one, if you wanted me to give you a third one, you should always watch Texans Chiefs. That's the big one. But if Justin Herbert comes in for the Chargers, I say watch Bengals Chargers. That should be a fun one as well if he does ever come in. But don't get your hopes up. I think they're sold on Tyrod Taylor starting this one. All right, so that's going to do it for the Week 1 preview. When we come back next week, we'll go over the Week 1, what happened, and then maybe go over a little bit of Week 2. But we're going to switch gears here. We have now NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs, they've been going on for a while. They took whatever teams were looking for the playoffs, took them all to Orlando to make a bubble, and we're now in the conference semis. And right now, so the first matchup we got here, Raptors versus Celtics, that was an interesting one. I thought when the Celtics went up 2-0, I thought that was it. I thought the Raptors were done. But seeing them come back to 2 more games, unfortunately, they did lose the game 5 decider to Celtics. The series is 3-2 Celtics lead. I am a high believer that the Raptors can come back, win Game 6 and win Game 7 to move on into the conference finals. Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, and Marcus Hall. I like that group of men. OG Anunoby too. He's a great defender. I am sold on the Raptors. I do like them. I think they can come back and win this, but that should not discredit the Boston Celtics. The Celtics still have an amazing team with Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Kemba Walker, Gordon Hayward. If they still have Daniel Theis, I don't think they do. They might. I can double check that later. I can check my sources. But the Celtics, Brad Stevens is still a great coach. He's getting the best out of his men. Getting Kemba Walker when losing Kyrie, I think that was an amazing move by the Celtics office. I think that was what needed to be done. That was just the big move they needed. But with that, though, I think the Raptors, with their playoff experience, I think they know what they need to do. They will come back. They will win it. Because just like last year, even when they had Kawhi, they came back. They beat the 76ers on that buzzer beater. This team is still together. The only piece they lost was Kawhi. And you can't say Kawhi carried the team. He needed Pascal to, do what he did. He needed Fred VanVleet to come up. Kyle Lowry was a great complementer. He was a good second man. Because, he's getting up there in age. I know he was the secondary to DeMar DeRozan, but I think Pascal has been a better secondary. Has been a better, partner to partner him up with, a better duo right there, Pascal and Kyle Lowry. But the Celtics could still keep it close. I'm just saying, for my own personal preference, I think the Raptors are going to win. They're going to go to the conference finals. And in the other Eastern semi, we have Bucks Heat. Heat were up 3-0. Bucks, I'm shocked, they came back to win in Game 4, even with Giannis hurting his ankle. It was pretty cool to see that. But with that, I don't see them winning. I don't see them coming back from that 3-0 deficit. I think the Heat are going to win. Today, I'm recording this on Tuesday, September 8th. They are going to be playing tonight. I think the Heat are going to close it out. They're going to go to the finals. The thing with the Heat, though, that's crazy, though, is, I was shocked that Eric Spoelstra stuck around as long as he did after LeBron left. I thought that they were going to get rid of him, do a new coach, do a whole new system, get going, reload it, get rid of everyone, rebuild it from the ground up. I'm actually very happy to see that Spoelstra was able to stick it out. He was able to stay. He was able to get a new team going. because he helped develop Duncan Robinson. He got Tyler Hero back up. He got Tyler Hero up there, not back up there. He got it up and running. He got Bam Adebayo. He won the Most Improved Player. The only thing they really did is they brought in Jimmy Butler, the superstar, which is awesome. Like they got him off of free agency, even though I know a while back when he was on the Bulls, he said he would never come to the Heat. And look at him now. They got Goran Dragic around the time LeBron was leaving, so that's always good too. They had him as a good point guard. Like that team is doing well. Derek Jones Jr. I can't discredit him. Like he's stepping up. And what's his name? Kendrick Nunn. He's been an amazing rookie this year. Like I know he didn't win Rookie of the Year. That went to Ja Morant, as as it should have. But like Kendrick Nunn, like he's balling out. He was helping the team. That the Heat is a team that will be here for years because if they keep that core together, that team is going to be dangerous for years to come. So yes, unfortunately, Bucks. I do not see you winning. When it comes to the Bucks, Giannis needs another superstar. So I say that because yes, Chris Middleton was an All-Star now for 2 years, but with that, I don't think he is really the answer. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's known to do great things, but Giannis needs a good either you could say this is a dynamic duo and he needs a third piece, or I think he just needs a better partner for his duo. Yes, I know Malcolm Brogdon left for the Pacers, and now I thought that was a good number 3 piece, but they lost it. But if Giannis can't shoot, sadly, so if Giannis can get like a shooter, like someone that can help like spread the floor out, because I know Chris Middleton can hit from 3. If they can get like one more person, unfortunately, like Eric Bledsoe, he's not that answer. The Lopez brothers, I know they kind of step up, but they all kind of like to play the paint. They need someone that can play their edge as well. As we saw with like Golden State, they had Kevin Durant, Curry, Klay Thompson. They all played around the 3-point line, revolutionized the game. If they can get someone that can help them stay like behind the paint or stay behind the arc, get some threes. This way you have to worry about the 3 and the paint. That might help the Bucks a little bit maybe next year. But unfortunately, this year the Bucks their playoff run is probably ending tonight against the Heat. It's sad to see because I like Giannis. I think Giannis is a great player. I wish that he just kind of he had better team. Like if he had an extra support player next to him. Yes, Bledsoe's great. The Lopez brothers are good. Middleton all-star. He just needs a shooter. That's what it is. It's just you can't really say anything else. Like there's not really a lot of shooting on that team, so why would anyone need to play the arc? So they need to get someone that'll help them play the arc. I know Giannis, this is contract year for him. Hopefully the Bucks keep him, but we'll see what happens when free agency actually hits. On the Western Conference side of things, we have the Nuggets versus Clippers. The Nuggets coming off that Game 7 after being down 3-1 to the Jazz and winning in 7. I thought that's amazing. Jamal Murray is really coming into an all-star. He's becoming that star player for the Nuggets. He's a perfect complement to Nikola Jokic. I know the Nuggets also have Michael Porter Jr. They have Bull. Those guys, Will Barton. That's a team that runs deep at depth. But on the other team that they're playing, the Clippers, they also run deep. They have Kawhi, they have Paul George, they have Montrezl Harrell, they have Lou Williams, they have Pat Beverly. Like they have these good pieces. They even got Joakim Noah. Like yes, he's old, but he's still like a great defender. So unfortunately I do think the Clippers are going to win the series. They're already up 2-1. The Nuggets are still going to keep it close. Though there's no way they can keep it out. Like Jokic for a big man, it's amazing how well he can pass. It's so wild to see a big man like that like be able to move the rock around like he does. It's very nice. It's very cool to see. So yeah, the Nuggets are going to be dangerous. Maybe not make it to the finals this year, but in years to come, they're definitely going to you're going to see the Nuggets popping up in the finals one of these days. They're going to be there. Maybe not this year, maybe next year. It could be the year after that, but as long as they have Jamal Murray, they keep Jokic. And I honestly do think if they keep Michael Porter and Bol, like those, Michael Porter and Bol are still developing. So if they can keep them around and get them like where they need to be, that team will make the finals in the next year or so. On the Clipper side, though, they have Kawhi, they have Paul George. They are going all in here. Paul George, I know he's going to need to get re-signed after this, so hopefully they do. But Kawhi was a great pickup after his Raptors run. Do we see him winning in the finals? Maybe he can. We don't know. He is going to have to see who he faces on the other side because the Western Conference has a lot of amazing teams on there. But that depth is going to help him, like Ivica Zubac. He's an amazing big man that'll help. They have, like I said, Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams, both 6 men of the year. Lou Williams winning it last year and plenty more. Montrezl Harrell winning it this year. Like those guys are great off the bench. Pat Beverly, his defense is amazing. Like you just can't compare that to any point guard's defense. He locks down people. So I do see the Clippers winning. And for the last playoff game on in general here for the NBA on the Western side, we have Lakers Rockets. I don't like the Rockets. No, just don't like them. I don't like the small ball. PJ Tucker, yes, he's doing great covering Anthony Davis. But later down the road, Anthony Davis is going to figure out how to stop him. He's going to get around. He's going to get around him. He's going to use the height, and he's going to use his talent because he's not just height. He's a very great talent. Like he was supposed to. He's like one of the stars of the league now. When he was getting drafted, that's what he was going to do. That's what he became. He is one of the top tier players in this league, and he's going to figure out how to stop PJ Tucker. I'm sorry, I just don't like the small ball. Like Russ, yes, he's a great defender. He's not going to. I don't see him covering LeBron. That's the problem. You need someone that can cover LeBron as well. You got PJ Tucker covering, but like one of both. But once they have both on the court, who's covering? You have no big men. Yes, they have James Harden. They have Russell Westbrook. They have all these guys. They like to play behind the arc, but the big men are going to stop them. Like they have LeBron. They have AD. Dwight Howard. He's a great big man still. Like he's not. He's not what he was. He is still like a solid big man. He is going to still put up like good numbers for you. It's not going to be what it was where he's putting up like maybe 25 or whatever, but he'll still get you like solid points off the bench. He's still a solid center. He will still do good. I think just unfortunately, like I said, small ball doesn't work. Like, yeah, they have the Lakers have Alex Caruso, who's been stepping up. Like he's a fan favorite of everyone. Just the Lakers definitely have a little more size and talent there. So my prediction for the conference finals for the Eastern side, I think it's going to be Raptors Heat. I still think the Raptors are going to win it. Western side, Clippers Lakers, all LA conference finals. It sucks that they're not going to be able to play it in LA. They're going to have to play it in Orlando. But it's due to what, unfortunately, it's better to have our players safe. I would rather see them safe than in danger. That's kind of the big thing. I appreciate that they did the bubble. They're keeping them safe. They're keeping the public safe from not letting people in. That's a really good thing for them to do. So yes, Raptors, Heat, Clippers, Lakers. That should be hopefully. That's my thought for the finals, and if the conference finals, if that's what it is, those will be some fun games to watch. Let's go over to the NHL side of things now. Now this one, I know this isn't my top. Unfortunately, I like watching hockey. I'm not as informed, so my analysis here might not be as great or in depth as it was for football or basketball. But NHL wise, we have Golden Knights versus Stars. These are the conference finals. Stars are already up 1-0. I think the Golden Knights are going to win. I have a Twitch channel myself that I run with. I do it with my two roommates. They're very good friends of mine. And on the stream, we were playing NHL 20. I said Golden Knights were going to win, and if they win, I will get a Golden Knights jersey. I'm still on that. I think the Golden Knights were a great team. I was buying high on them when they were formed a few years ago, when they made it to the finals. I thought they were going to beat the Capitals, couldn't. But I like the way they did it. They built to get assets for the future. They didn't build for the now. They built for the future. So I thought that was amazing for them to do it for what they did during the expansion draft. I think that was amazing. I think that was great. They did a great job. I think this is the Golden Knights' year to prove that what they were doing was right. They're going to make it. They're going to win. I think they're going to win the whole thing. In terms of the other side, Lightning Islanders. I'm shocked the Lightning are here. I thought they were going to choke in the last round against Boston, but they didn't. I was shocked. I always see the Lightning choke it out either in the first or second round, but they made it to the conference finals. They're actually even up 1-0 against the Islanders. I think this could be their year. But because I am in the Northeast, I'm in the New York area. I'm kind of on the border between New York and Connecticut. I want to see the Islanders win. I know I'm a Rangers fan myself, but I think the Islanders can win it. I think they have a better team. I think they can get to the Stanley Cup Finals. I think they're going to play the Golden Knights, and you know where I think I'm going to go with the Stanley Cup Finals. But the Islanders, I think, are going to make it. When we finally do get to the Stanley Cup Finals, I think what we're going to do is we'll do a special. We'll go over the entire NHL, see what we thought, give thoughts on each team, and go from there. But we will get to that when the Stanley Cup Finals come around, or when we get around to that episode, because I know maybe that'll be in a few weeks. But we'll see what happens. And now for our final sport of the Big Four, let's talk about baseball. So the MLB, they're hitting their playoff push right now. They're almost in playoff season. They are close enough. So we're going to give a quick standings rundown between 1 through 10, knowing that only 1 through 8 will make it. So we're also going to talk about the first 2 out and talk about what I think about them. So we're going to start on AL thing aside. We have the Rays, top, number 1 here. 28-14. I'm shocked. I did not see the Rays busting out like they did. I think that's amazing. I did not see them. I honestly wasn't expecting them to be number one. I thought the Yankees would be the number one seed, but they're not. The Rays are coming in. It's awesome to see it. They have been unfortunately spiraling downhill since they made it to the World Series back in what, like 2013. I Yeah, they have not been doing good after that. So it's great to see them coming back. They have a great young thing going on here. They're doing great. The Indians, they're number two at 26-15. So my thought with the Indians is they're a great regular season team, but when it comes to playoff times, they they are a regular season team. They do not do well in the playoffs. I'm sorry. I don't see them going far. I think they're going to do first or second round exit this year. They're not making it. They can't. I don't see them going far. They will make the playoffs, but they will choke it away like they usually do. It seems like they choked it against the Cubs, they choked it against the Yankees, they choked it against the Astros. They just they choke things. They are not a playoff team. They are a regular season team. It's just sad. It's unfortunate. I wish them the best here. I want them to succeed, but I don't see it in their future. Unfortunately, as much as I want to, they will make the playoffs. They will not go far. White Sox, they're at 26-15 as well. They're the third seed technically. I'm shocked that they have a young core. They're developing nicely. They have a great starting rotation. For those who don't know, starting rotation means pitching. If you're listening, if you're new to sports and you're trying to listen to this to get an understanding for sports, starting rotation is the starting five pitchers. But with that, the White Sox have great pitching. They're doing great. The relievers are awesome. They're fielding. They're doing great. They have great bats. Oakland Athletics, I didn't realize they were even in the hunt, to be honest. They were the fourth seed when I did my research. I was shocked. I'm glad to see them coming back. The problem is they always seem to run into the Yankees and they get pumped out of the playoffs. Hopefully, if they don't see the Yankees, they can make their way deeper in and maybe make it to the World Series. Hopefully, I'm not going to buy high on them, but I will say that they might make it to the American League Finals. But I'm not selling high on them. I don't think they're gonna win it all. I don't know if they're gonna make it even to the World Series. Uh, then we got the Twins. Twins, same thing. They do great. They just keep losing to the Yankees. If they get away from the Yankees, I think maybe they can get a little farther. But I know like getting away from the Yankees is not easy to do. Like it's a tough task. Yes. They are an amazing team, the Yankees. But in terms of the Twins, they seem to always get to the playoffs and they lose to the Yankees. It seems like every time they have played them in the wild card. They've played them in the divisional round. They've played them everywhere. They can't do it. They keep that. That's the kryptonite between the Twins and the A's. It's just rough. It's rough. Now the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are developing. Vlad Guerrero Jr. I'm sorry. I'm running out of voice here because it's just me. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He is developing into an amazing player. I think he's going to be Mike Trout. He's going to be the next Mike Trout here. But when it comes to the Blue Jays, I'm shocked that they are this far. Honestly, I thought not having home games was going to be rough for them. I thought the flying was going to be rough for them. But they are toughening it up. They are playing in Buffalo right now. I know they've secured something there. They're doing amazing. They're the sixth seed here. They're doing great things. And you know what? If the Blue Jays make it, I think that they're not ready to make it to like the American League Finals or whatever. But I think they could be a solid like second round thing. They can get to where they need to be. They can do what they need to do. And I think they will be a tough challenge for any American League opponent in that playoff race. I just don't see them going all the way just yet. Now, this is one I might spend a little time on because I'm a little annoyed by this. The Houston Astros are the seventh seed at 21-20. This bothers me. So, as I don't know if everyone knows, if you're a new listener, if you don't follow sports, Houston Astros, they were caught cheating. They were using cameras to steal pitcher signs. This way their players can hit the ball better. You can tell by the stats from when they were playing at home against the way. Now, here's the issue. They suspended the manager. They suspended the GM. That's all the MLB did. Why did they not suspend any players? Jose Altuve was very involved in that. George Springer, very involved in that. Like all these players were involved in it, and it was designated on the owner to make the move. They fired the GM. They fired the coach. They had to. Ooh, sorry. They are the ones who enforced the punishment. Why did the MLB not do more? They should have suspended these players. They should have taken them out for a year. They should have done something a little more than what they did. All they did is they slapped the suspensions and they were done. Like the Red Sox, they fired their coach. The Mets, they fired Carlos Beltran before he even got there. Like the owners, the teams, they have done more discipline to these Astros. than the MLB has. And the MLB seems to be defending them because when the Dodgers pitcher, I think Joe Kelly was his name, he retaliated a little bit. He got the 7-game suspension. The Athletics, they kind of fought him a little bit. They got the suspension. Like, this is the team that cheated, and they're the ones that are kind of getting defended on. Now, when it comes to that, though, I think before all this kind of went on, and when the MLB season was right around the corner, Stephen A. Smith brought up a great point. Stephen A. Smith, reporter of ESPN, he does First Take and has his own show, but he said on air that what the MLB players should do is when they're doing the national anthem, the opposing team shouldn't even look at the Astros. They should just ignore them. Don't even look at them. I think that is a great idea. I think they should have done it. It's, you know what, bygones be bygones. It seems like everyone seems to just still hate them. They're being beanballed and all that stuff. And with the 18, as we were talking a few times, the Yankees. Now, the Yankees started the season strong. They have spiraled down. They have lost key players. Giancarlo's out. Aaron Judge is out. That's rough. They're losing players. Tanaka wasn't pitching that well. Their defense ain't holding up. It's been rough. I get it. Like, they're not doing so hot. They need to figure it out or they will not make it because these other two teams, the Orioles, a team, they seem to be cooking. They're cooking hot. I wasn't expecting them to make it here, but they are primed. If the Yankees or the Astros like kind of fall off, those Orioles are going to step right in and take over. Mariners, they could also step right in too. They're 19-22. Orioles 19-21. The Mariners, I think, are going to kind of fall off. I don't think they're going to make it. I think the O's can make a good push and maybe take the Yankees out since the Yankees are not looking so hot. On National League side, we have the Dodgers. They're 30-12. That Mookie Betts trade, amazing. It was an amazing trade for them. That's beautiful. They got David Price in it too. I know he's not playing, but they don't need him. Clayton Kershaw's carrying it. Mookie Betts was an amazing pickup. He's an amazing fielder, amazing batter. That's what they needed. That helped complement Cody Bellinger, Jock Peterson, everyone. That was just a beautiful, beautiful move. Padres, they won the trade deadline. They got amazing filling. Like they filled needs that they needed here. They got what they needed. They did what needed to be done. That is amazing of them. I'm glad they have a second here. They're 26-17. Moving on to the Braves. They're 24-17. I know they missed a few games due to Corona for some of their opponents. But here's the thing with the Braves. They suffer the same curse as the Falcons and the Hawks. As you can tell, I'm a Falcons fan, so it's rough to say this, but they do not do well in the playoffs. It's just what it is. The Falcons can't do it. The Hawks couldn't do it. And you know what? The Braves can't do it right now. I know the Falcons, they figured out kind of more of a formula. That's fine. But the Braves, they cannot do it. They are terrible when it comes to the playoffs. They blew it last year. They blew it the year before. It's just inevitable, it seems like. So I'm not going to bank high on them. They're going to make it. I don't see them getting out of the first round. It's unfortunate. I would love to see it. They just can't do it. The Cubs. Cubs are 24-18. They have been coasting so hard since that 2016 win, the World Series title. And it's just sad to see that that's what it is. Why are they coasting so hard? I don't know. They let the coach, I still don't remember his name. He left. They brought in David Ross, who was the catcher of the 2016 team. Yes, it's great that they brought him in for that team morale. You know, he has the team chemistry already. But if you're not going to do anything, what's the point? They have just been coasting, I feel like. And I feel like they're still coasting a little bit. Like Kyle Schwarber, Chris Bryant, they're still there. But if they're not going to make that next step, what's the point? Either you blow it up or you get them more tools to get them there. I feel they haven't done really much of anything. Phillies, 20-17. They're the 5th seed. My thought is they're not going to win. I think Bryce Harper is cursed. I say that because when Bryce Harper left the Nationals, they still had a good team and they won the World Series. So I think Bryce Harper is a curse. I don't think he's going to get a World Series title, unfortunately. He's a great player, an amazing player, but I just don't see it in the cards. I'm sorry, but if they don't win the World Series, I don't see it happening because you saw what happened when the Nationals got rid of when they didn't re-sign him. They won. So it's unfortunate, but I think that's what it is. Cardinals, 17-16. Now, this team had Corona that was established, so they are missing a lot of games here. So I don't know if they still have to make it up. I haven't really looked into the schedule. But with that, they are still playing solid. They're still playing great baseball. So, unfortunately, they might get a little messed up here, though, in the end. Because if they have to play a lot more doubleheaders, that's going to kill their energy. They're going to kill their kind of boost. And that might tire them out a little bit. So they might lose a few more games down the stretch here, which might kick them out. Same with the Marlins, who are 18-18. Like, they missed a lot of games due to Corona as well. Like, they might get screwed by them not having to play so many doubleheaders late in the season. That could mess them up because that could easily backfire on them. Behind them are the Giants, 21-21. The reason why they're behind both, Cardinals are technically above 500. The Marlins are at 500 with less games, so that's why the Giants are behind. But they're 500. Giants, unfortunately, with the Cardinals and the Marlins having to make up those doubleheaders, hopefully, I think the Giants will move up a lot more and not be the 8th seed. On the outside, Rockies and Brewers, they both have 21 losses. Rockies have 20, Brewers have 18 because, again, the Corona stuff. With the Brewers, I thought Christian Yelich would carry this team a little bit. Didn't really. But he still has a lot to do. They could still do it. They could still make it. They can still go. The Rockies, I think, are a little bit of a surprise for me. I didn't think they were going to come back. But, like I said, with the Marlins and the Cardinals having to do a lot more doubleheaders and make some games up, they might actually get pushed out of the playoffs, and these two can come in. Uh, as you can tell, I'm a Mets fan, as I'm wearing the Darryl Strawberry jersey. With Tom Seaver did die last week. It was sad, but they seem to be playing a lot better. They could make a huge playoff push here. They can hopefully make it in, but I'm not betting high on them. So we've now covered all 4 leagues. We had week 1 covered for the NFL. We went over a few playoffs. We went over the NHL playoffs, and we went over the MLB. So I think that'll wrap up this pilot episode we have here for episode 1. If you guys did happen to enjoy any of this, please definitely make sure to follow us on Twitter, on Instagram. This podcast will be on I will get it on Spotify. It will be on Apple. It'll be on YouTube. Feel free to follow us on any of those. We appreciate all the support here. We're looking to have also a lot of collaborations. I would love to talk to other sports podcasters, get some other people's intakes on everything, and get just more of a general knowledge and make this a little more of a fun podcast to get more outreach. Hopefully, if we get a bigger fan base, we can get some of the fans out here as well. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to follow us everywhere else. And if you can, enjoy the rest of your day.